Journaling for me has been such a beneficial activity in my life in the last 5, 10, 15, actually pretty much my whole life. Journaling has been one of those activities that I've relied on, that I've looked to, that I've done in my life to find stillness, to find a way to vent, to find a way to write down all of my emotions and ideas. Journaling has been a great activity for reflection. So, in this video, I want to talk about the benefits, obviously, my own personal experience, and also I want to dive into a little bit of what two great books have to say, two great authors have to say about journaling. One of the books is Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. And the other book is a book that I've recently read called Productivity is for Robots by Corey McComb. Definitely watch this video if you want to find out the benefits of journaling, but not only for just the benefits in general, but also the benefits for a nonfiction book reader. Because a lot of people forget the fact or don't realize the fact that journaling closely relates to the books that we read. So let's get into the video and talk about all these different benefits of journaling. Okay, so first, let's talk about my own personal experiences. So when you are journaling, it is a great way to keep track of your own thought process. Your own thought process. So maybe you are feeling down, so you go down, you sit with your journal for 15 minutes and you just write down everything that is making you feel down and maybe possibly the solutions that you might think of when you're writing your ideas down. That is probably one of the most beneficial aspects of journaling, because it is a way that you can share with a journal, not with another person. You don't even have to share this with other people. You can just write down and vent. It is actually a very, very beneficial thing to do that. It's like a story for your future self, right? So you can reflect back, you can take a look back on what you have written, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and just be amazed by the progress that you've made. So it's a gateway into your thought process. You can reflect and pick up on reoccurring patterns in your thought process, and maybe see those errors or those faults that you have been making, and also celebrate the successes that you've been making. So writing down these thoughts and these events and these experiences in your life, whether they are bad things or good things, and then you can look back and see. When reading comes into play, think about all of the information you absorb every single day. Let's say you're reading 1 hour every single day from these nonfiction books, and then you're going out and you're taking action and you're trying to apply the takeaways from these books. Well, a journal is like a reflective process. So you're journaling about your experiences and your emotions and your thoughts. So if you're experimenting on these books and then you're reflecting in your journal about your experience, then it's a way to kind of consolidate everything together in one place in a journal. And usually what I do is every single 3 or 4 months, I will take a look at my previous journal entries. For sure, at the end of the year, I look at these journal entries and then I reflect on those journal entries. In fact, I even go back through my journal entries sometimes and I take my pen and I make notes on what I have written, what my past self has written. So I'm taking notes on my own personal notes, which is kind of a funny thing. Like you're having a conversation with your past self. So that's definitely a big benefit as well. So now, getting into the second aspect from Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. So in this one, the book has just a very short chapter on journaling. And the aspects in the book talk about how journaling demands stillness and it also creates stillness in our life. So, I mean, you are probably going to be journaling in a place like this, in your office or in a quiet spot, somewhere where you're probably not going to get any sort of distractions. So, of course, it demands stillness. And then when you are sitting down to journal, it creates stillness in your mind. It's a way to just get every single thought out of your head onto the paper, and you can realize, wow, okay, so that's what I've been feeling. Ah, okay, that's what the problem is. Journaling is a process that can help you realize what your problems are and how to solve them. The second thing that Stillness is the Key talks about is the best way to journal is just to start. Just to start. Just do it, as Nike says, right? So there's actually no proper way. There's no um, precise way. Every person does journaling in a different way, right? So the most important thing is that you are just doing it. Usually, what I do is I make sure that I have at least 15 or 20 minutes to write in my journal, and then I will just start and write everything that comes to my mind. Sometimes I pick a theme that I want to focus on, whether that be a problem or whether that be a win, a success, or maybe I focus on my family, maybe I focus on my business. Uh, so each time is just a little bit different, and I focus on that particular area during that one session. You can do it any way you want to. Stillness is the Key also mention about the family. Like when you're gone, family or relatives, or maybe if you were like a really famous person, your journal is documented. Even if you didn't publish it, when you're gone, maybe people have records of your journal. They can take a look at your thought process. So people in the future can learn from you, from what you've written in your journal. Of course, that might make you feel a little bit afraid because your journal is your private area that you don't want other people to access. But hey, it could be the good for the future of humanity or your family. And I really love this last takeaway here is how you journal is much less important than why you do it. So every time you sit down to journal, ask yourself, why am I doing it in the first place? What am I trying to get out of this? And if you're lost for how to start, then just start, like the last tip said. So yeah, those are the 4 tips from Stillness is the Key. Now let's talk about Productivity is for Robots. Love that title, by the way. Awesome title. So one of the aspects that I really liked that Corey mentioned is that journaling can generate life-changing ideas. The idea for Corey's book came from his journal. So it's happened for me too. Like when I was like journaling about like my online course or journaling about business ideas, like, yeah, I mean, there's so many great ideas that can come from journaling. The second thing that Corey talks about that I really loved was it removes the horse blinders you have put on yourself. I really love that quote. So yeah, sitting down to journal, sitting down in a quiet place, and just writing down all your thoughts, all your worries, it removes these horse blinders that maybe have been blinding you. It uh, brings the unconscious to consciousness. You become more self aware of what your thoughts are, what's going on in your life, what's going on up here, because sometimes things and ideas just get stuck up here and we don't know what to do with them. So we have to get them out of our head somehow. By writing them down in our journal, it helps us to get those ideas out. The last one from Productivity is for Robots is it helps you to relive and reread how you thought and felt during the time of writing. Like when I was reading through Educated by Tara Westover, she included a whole lot of like journal entries in her book. And I remember her talking about herself, her present self, questioning her past self. Journaling is a very reflective process. So whenever we're writing down in our journal, whatever we're writing down, whenever and wherever we're writing it down, and whatever we're writing down can be used as a reflective process. It's not only the time that we're writing that is beneficial, but it's also the time that we're checking back and we're looking back from our future self to our past self, or our present self to our past self. That process of reading through what we have written, our ideas and our experiences and our feelings, can really help us to become more self-aware and to pick through those journal entries and be able to improve on what we have done in the past. That way we can make a better future. And that is the whole idea of why I said the journaling process is very good for nonfiction book readers, because we take in so much information all the time. If we're reading an hour per day, we apply so much information, at least I hope that's what you're doing, every single time. So our journal really helps us to record that process and to be able to reflect on that process. So I really hope that these tips from my personal experience and Corey's personal experience and Ryan Holiday's personal experience can help you to become better. I hope that you do take up the journaling habit. I may talk more about this, but yeah, this is just a general video to get you excited about the journaling process, and know that it does help you out. And just to get started, just to sit down and do it. And remember that it doesn't necessarily matter how you are journaling, it matters why you are doing it. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Make sure you like and share this video to get it out to more people. And I will talk to you in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like these. Also follow my other social media accounts such as Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for more valuable content. Thank you for watching again, and I will see you guys next time.